and decides to go first.
Now, these two have been playtesting together.
Yes, they've been playing together
time.
Constantly.
So they'll know how this is going to go.
Clayton Hill already doesn't like his hand. He's motioning for game 2, even though they haven't even looked yet. And Brandon Bird will take the first turn. He's got a pair of Infernity Traps in his opening hand.
That's a barrier and a break.
I'm not supposed to tell you. It's pretty good. Well, I'm playing it all anyway.
And, oh, Brandon Bird's got Foolish Burial in there and a Summoner Monk.
Yeah.
Oh, are we supposed to go? Oh.
That can get things started. Yes, gentlemen, you are live. Oh no, it looked like Clayton Hill took the first turn with Armageddon Knight for Stygian Street Patrol. Sets 3 cards face down. And Stygian Street Patrol summons out the Infernity Archfiend from his hand. Doesn't get any better than that.
Alright, so I don't know what to do.
Goes ahead and takes Infernity Necromancer to his hand and Xyz summons Level Without Chain.
And just starts setting up those combos.
Archfiend sends Stygian Street Patrol to the graveyard, which is immediately banished to special summon Necromancer, which special summons back Infernity Archfiend.
Oh, I thought that's what you actually meant. Sorry.
No problem.
Archfiend searches Launcher. Launcher goes face down. And Instant Fusion is next. Clayton Hill has a Fusionist. He's also got Camion Wizard.
Oh, that's good. That means he can play fusions.
Level 3 or 4. He goes with Camion Wizard for the 4 to get the second Level Without Chain. And quickly detaches Infernity Archfiend. The Launcher is face down. And we're going to see this Level Without Chain send Infernity Necromancer to the graveyard. Launcher's flipped up, sent to the graveyard, summons back Archfiend and Necromancer. Archfiend searches Infernity Barrier. He's thinking about whether or not he's going to search anymore this turn. Sets the Infernity Barrier. And it looks like he's thinking about a rank 3 monster.
It would be the way to go at the moment. Now, what rank 3s has he got?
He's got Leviair.
Yeah, Leviair would be helpful. And there he goes. He's played Leviair.
That's it. Just Leviair.
Stygian Street Patrol. I'm pretty sure I just heard somebody say stop.
Stygian Street Patrol comes back. It'll soon be joining Infernity Archfiend, most likely. But not this turn. Instead, he passes over to Brandon Bird with an absolutely stacked back row with Mystical Space Typhoon, Infernity Barrier. Barrier is used against the Typhoon.
Summoner Monk.
Summoner Monk is
discarding.
Further Mystical Space Typhoon is used on the Infernity Barrier. Monk is next, discarding Foolish Burial. Bird's got a monster in his hand, so Greffer is an option here. Only one Infernity break on Clayton Hill's side, so he'll have to be careful. He's looking at another Summoner Monk.
Interesting.
He goes with the second Monk.
Now, as far as I can see, he has no other spell cards in his hand.
He does not.
No, he's just going to go for a rank 4. Straight up. For Exiton
Evil Swarm
Knight.
Exciton Knight. And with that, he could clear out the entire field. Detaches to activate the effect. And everything goes because there was no Infernity Break, and he lost the barrier to Mystical Space Typhoon.
He lost everything.
All of a sudden, everything falls apart for Clayton Hill. All on the back of an Evil Swarm Exciton Knight. No damage can be dealt this turn, though, and Hill simply passes his turn.
Armageddon Knight?
Oh, sets a card and passes his turn. Armageddon Knight is summoned, sending a Dark Monster to the graveyard. Now Clayton Hill has the Infernity Break.
Now Brendan has a Soul Charge in hand.
I don't know that he's going to need it.
He's probably not, but it's there.
As Clayton Hill checks through his graveyard to find out what he has left in deck that could help him out here, Armageddon Knight is busy sending an Infernity Archfiend to the graveyard.
You don't have finish? Okay. Doing all the stuff, and then at the end, shuffle.
Soul Charge is in fact up next. He's got Summoner Monk and Archfiend in the graveyard.
He could make himself some pretty rank 4s.
He could. He's got a Master Key Beetle in his extra deck, actually, which is what we might see happen eventually with the Monk and Armageddon Knight.
Archfiend getting a launcher. Or maybe a Mystical Space Typhoon. He's not too sure.
I don't think he can take the Mystical Space Typhoon.
He can't, but he's looking at it.
Infernity Typhoon. Launcher is taken, and he quickly sets it.
Which would be overpowered.
It'd be pretty good, yeah.
Please do not make Infernity Typhoon.
Oh, they already got Infernity Break.
Yeah,
that
true.
destroys anything.
Yeah.
Two monsters are combined, and with that Infernity Launcher face down,
and that's a lava launching.
Infernity Break is used. And Infernity Barrier is used against that. And without even waiting to see another turn, Clayton Hill goes ahead and scoops it up. Turns out that going first in that game kept him the one card away from Infernity Break that could have broken up the Exciton Knight play. But then again, who knows what would have happened if Brandon Bird had gone first. So it's like I said, how many turns total was that? Like 3?
Yeah.
Maybe 4?
But
for each player. But it did take a while. And that's the nature of the beast when it comes to Infernity decks. As for side decking, they got your favorite, Spiritualism. Both playing 2 copies of that.
Flying Sea.
Only Hill is playing Flying Sea. Both are playing... actually, no. Brandon Bird is the only one playing Shield Crush to block Flying Sea.
So, interesting.
It's going to be interesting.
One person is playing the counter, the other person is playing the counter to the counter.
And since they've been testing so often, you'd think that Hill and Brandon Bird would know what's in each other's side decks as well. So Bird knows that Hill has Flying Sea.
Yeah.
And Hill knows that Bird has Shield Crush.
Unless they kept that a secret from each other.
Yeah, they could have kept it a secret from each other, but with how much people were dueling these past couple days...
Yeah, it's true, you would have seen it.
I somehow doubt that a secret could be that well kept. So the question is, do they even bother putting these cards into their decks? It's a variation on... I guess it's a variation on the Prisoner's Dilemma.
Yeah.
Either we both put them in and bad things happen, or we don't put them in and the same things happen, or I put mine in and you don't, and the result varies.
Yeah.
It's a modified version of it because of the nature of the cards. It's not one is a clear win over the other, but it's a very interesting situation.
See there what he might be putting in. He's just taken out something there.
Spiritualism, I think he's definitely going in for both because there's no ambiguity there. It is absolutely a card you want in your deck for this matchup.
Yes.
Especially if you're the guy going second.
Yeah, it definitely does beat Infernity.
We got the Needle Ceilings on Bird's side. That would be interesting, but as we saw last match, you don't always get enough monsters available for needle sealing. As we
Well,
recall.
it depends, because there was the time when he had needle sealing, he could have activated it and then decided not to. And
Yes.
by that, almost everybody's playing needle sealing.
Yes.
I don't know why, but everybody's seen it and just gone, yes, I need this. And it's because of Infernity. You're getting so many monsters on the field. And as soon as Nicolo hesitated to activate it, he just telegraphed what he was playing. And that was it. That's
And
why he suddenly got
went
rid of it.
straight for it with Diamond Direwolf. Sometimes got to wonder, how many times can one player summon in one turn?
With this deck?
Just in general. Like in the entirety of Yu-Gi-Oh! All of the cards that were ever made, what is the biggest number of special summons you can perform in a single turn with any given 40-card deck?
At least 20. If you were to use every single card.
It would have to be at least 20,
Yeah.
because the old Frog FTK deck had to summon that many times in one turn to win.
I couldn't think. So there must be more than 20.
It's a considerable number.
Yeah.
Never really thought about it. That's something to think about when I get back home, or maybe on the plane.
Start crunching numbers.
I don't know, maybe I'll sleep.
Yeah.
It's probably better.
Yeah. I was about to say, what I do for fun is not crunch numbers. No, I do enough of that during the day.
Sometimes I wonder, though. I just get that urge to do math.
Just to have a look.
Yep.
Just to check it out. I bet we could get Jason to have a look at it as he walks past
I
us.
bet we could. And it looks like we're just about ready for game 2.
No, actually, if you didn't stack, that would be lying to a tournament official.
The mood is pretty light. You can see everybody's having a good laugh.
Ooh, that's 2
Clayton
vanity.
Hill goes first, and he's got a
Emptiness.
couple Vanity's Emptiness. That's
Summoner
already
Monk.
looking good. We've also got a Summoner Monk.
Archfiend Eris.
Is
I
that
think that's a Mystical Space
Reinforcement of
Typhoon.
the Army or Mystical Space Typhoon?
Oh wait, no. There it is. Instant Fusion.
Summoner Monk comes down. Oh, it is Instant Fusion. The blue gets me. I always think of the blue in Reinforcement of the Army.
Brandon's got an interesting hand.
MST, Instant Fusion, Archfiend Eris, Needle Sealing, Mind Control. Well, the Needle Sealing is a nice way to try to fight back after a first turn combo.
Yeah, Mind Control. To set up if there's still a level 3 on the field by the end of the turn. Whereas Archfiend Eris level 4. No, it's level 3.
So MST Mind Control, there's actually a lot of reasons that that's good to have. I mean,
Yeah.
the Mystical Space Typhoon can take out one of the emptinesses, but there are still 2. So what you do with Mind Control Mystical Space Typhoon is you can Mind Control first to force out the barrier, and then Mystical Space Typhoon to force out a break that you've seen. And that way you can at least try to land something on the field
Yeah.
without being immediately destroyed.
Here comes a Lava Chain, getting an Archfiend.
Archfiend goes... Well, it's going to go on top of the deck. And all things considered, it wasn't a very explosive turn for Clayton Hill. It'll be the next
No.
turn where the real insanity starts happening.
Let's put that right to the top there. Yep. Oh, there we go. Go ahead.
And Brandon Bird looked very happy about his draw for the turn. He's come up with another Mystical Space Typhoon, and that'll let him take out both copies of Emptiness.
Are you kidding me? I don't like this game. This is stupid.
Clayton Hill says, "Are you kidding me?"
It's supposed to win.
I don't know whether you can hear what they're saying back home, but he said, "Are you kidding me?
And
I don't like this game
Bird should
anymore."
probably tell him, "Are you kidding me? You had double Vanity's Emptiness.
God.
What are you complaining about, Mr. Double Vanity's Emptiness?"
This is how we play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Brandon Bird is absolutely
This is
right.
how we
This
do it.
is how we play Yu-Gi-Oh! With a Mind Control on Lava Val Chain. And he's going to put an Infernity Archfiend on top of his own deck.
At least I get my little chain back.
Clayton can take some small solace in that he will get back his level Val chain.
Definitely.
Possibly at the end of the game, but he's going to get it back at some point.
It's always nice to hear players banter.
Well, they know each other well because they played in the finals for the North American WCQ as well.
Yeah. I do remember that.
Coming right for you, buddy.
And Clayton Hill is not fooled at all. He knows exactly what that face-down monster is.
Why would I get necromancer?
Infernity Archfiend is drawn and special summoned. Second Archfiend is added. Stygian Street Patrol is banished to special summon. Infernity Launcher comes up next.
You'd think he probably would have realized why that Archfiend was set rather than summoned.
And Brandon Bird is taking a look at his face-down cards as if he had a third Mystical Space Typhoon, which he does somewhere. It just does not happen to be on the field at this moment.
So you said break rate?
No, it's launcher.
Launcher is set face down. Archfiends are combined. And Clayton Hill, Clayton Hill only
Diamond
has 2
Direwolf.
Laval Val chains. He's going to go ahead with Diamond Direwolf and target one of the face down
Ooh,
cards.
and he hits the needle ceiling.
He does hit the needle ceiling. And that, once again, he had a chance to activate it right there, didn't he? And he didn't
just
do
didn't
it.
do it. And that other set card there is an instant fusion.
And
It
I
isn't
think
helping him at all.
in both cases, the reason they didn't do it was because of the presence of Launcher.
Yeah.
Because those monsters are just going to come back. So in this case, you take the 50-50 shot, as your opponent can destroy your face down, which is the instant fusion, or the needle ceiling. And in this case, Clayton Hill got it right. 2 Archfiends return. Infernity Barrier is added to hand. And I think we're about to see some battle.
You forgot to put the Archfiend on. Just kidding. Second.
Level Val chain attacks.
Is that Stygian? Oh,
Takes out Archfiend Eris.
is it? Don't worry, I got this.
What are you
Oh,
doing?
nothing.
No, you can ask us for translation.
Yeah, ask me.
I got her.
And the question is whether or not Archfiend Eris is optional. Clayton Hill seems to be prepared. He's got some printouts
He's got his
from
own
the card
translations.
database.
Impressive.
And what he really wanted to do was force Brandon Bird to activate that effect and get the Infernity Archfiend off the top of his deck.
Unfortunately, it is optional.
Archfiend activates, and
Vector now.
he's thinking about whether or not he wants to special summon it off his effect, knowing that his opponent has Infernity Barrier. He still has the instant fusion face down, so it's an option to not use it, but then your instant fusion will get negated.
Sure.
He opts not to use it. He activates the instant fusion, and it is a predictable result. Instant fusion is negated. But this way, he at least has a monster on the field, or at least he would
If he didn't just
if
concede.
he did not concede. And I think that's a smart concession to save time
Yeah.
on that one, since all these rounds are timed still.
And he's still going to get to go first now.
He does get to go first in the
Although,
deciding game.
as we saw in the first game, that doesn't usually matter.
Yep, sometimes it doesn't.
Doesn't always matter.
Because like I
Sometimes you don't have the Infernity break, and Exciton Knight ruins your day, man. That's why it's such a point of emphasis in the Infernity deck. And I remember Suhabi, after the North American WCQ, was very adamant that Evil Swarm Exciton Knight, aside from Lava Val Chain, Evil Swarm Exciton Knight is the most important Xyz monster in your extra deck.
Yeah.
what he was heading up.
And that's why it lets you get back into games when normally a combo deck would have missed its window within the first couple turns.
Definitely.
I've also seen a lot of good play with Diamond Direwolf this time around. Direwolf is
Yeah.
great for destroying face-down cards on your opponent's side of the turn and just clearing off space on your side for more summons.
Auto places?
And it hit the needle ceiling both times
Yeah.
we've seen it played so far.
Both times it sacrificed itself to destroy
After
a
this,
face-down speller trap. It was needle ceiling.
Except for that one time where it killed itself to save space,
I really want to.
which was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win YCS Anaheim.
Strong declarations from Clayton Hill, who has said that he will win YCS Anaheim. We'll have to wait till November, though. You can check our whole schedule of YCS events. Everything that's been announced so far is up on Yu-Gi-Oh!-card.com. You can find it under the events and organized play section. There's a lot of great events coming up
There is.
this fall, starting with Toronto and Madrid in
Yes.
September.
Can they hear us?
Yes, we
Don't lie to me,
can.
because I know you're gonna say yes to get me to shut up.
Clayton Hill is actually right now asking whether or not we can hear him, and unfortunately, Clayton, yes, we can.
Because like I don't know if the last people just didn't talk. I know Mr. Bougie guy was pretty salty.
Is this
Pretty
something
much everyone was incredibly serious.
What?
Pretty much everyone was incredibly serious.
And all of a sudden, after receiving his answer that yes, we can hear him, everything has gone deadly serious.
Yes.
Like I understand the difference.
Yeah, this is the most fun game ever this weekend.
I don't have to really worry about like if I lose, oh congratulations, my trophy isn't graded fourth, so third.
And Brandon Bird is going to get the chance to go first.
$2,500 price card down the drain.
Clayton annoyed that if he loses, the only thing that he's annoyed about, his trophy will say fourth.
This is his all money back.
You know, you gotta be mad about that. If you're a competitor and your trophy doesn't say first, you
Yeah.
gotta have that little edge and the chip on your shoulder
You don't
that
really
says
want-
next time it is going to say
I think
first.
that's mine.
No, this is mine. This is mine.
But
yeah.
still too soon to think about next time. We have one last duel to play in this match.
Or something, we're playing the same thing, so. No, what part of the main deck is different?
His cards are all first.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I forgot.
Brandon Bird points at himself. He's going first. And it looks like he's got Greffer ×2, Vanity's Emptiness, and pair of spells, Reinforcement of the Army, and Mystical Space Typhoon. On the other side, Archfiend Palabyrinth, Armageddon Knight, Infernity Launcher, Instant Fusion.
Sure. What was the secret first?
Strong hands.
Right.
First off is the Greffer. Greffer pitches Greffer.
Relax. You're trying to make me look stupid, aren't you?
And the double Greffer play winds up in
Stygian Street Patrol.
Stygian Street Patrol to the graveyard.
So. Set to Archfiend over so good at this game.
Three face-down cards. Ends Brandon Bird's turn, and all things considered, Clayton Hill got off easy. On the other hand, we see a Summoner Monk.
Where is that? Vanity's Emptiness.
Compulsory Evacuation Device is the trap in Clayton's hand. But Vanity's Emptiness could just put a stop to whatever Clayton Hill is planning. He's got multiple special summon cards in Infernity Launcher and Instant Fusion.
Armageddon Knight activates.
And he sends Infernity Archfiend to the graveyard.
Nice one. Nice what? Specialism. You have emptiness.
I have neither one.
Instant Fusion comes up next. And he does have the Emptiness.
He does.
Two of them slided in. Instant Fusion takes 1,000 life from Clayton Hill and doesn't give anything back in return.
But there's the Palabyrinth.
Labyrinth and a set card are up. And in the end phase, Mystical Space Typhoon destroys Compulsory Evacuation Device and turns Vanity's Emptiness off,
Wow.
so that Clayton Hill can start special summoning again.
Better not. Oh, okay, sure.
Reinforcement of the Army flips face up.
Oh, this is gonna end not really in my favor.
And he's looking for that Armageddon Knight.
This is something.
It's the last warrior in his deck.
It's probably a good thing he drew the reinforcement at that point.
Yes. Instead of the Armageddon Knight itself. That was almost one of those things where you get every warrior in your deck and reinforcement of the army.
Oh, yeah.
Reinforcements to the army is one of those cards that you always play, just in case.
Yep.
Straight away.
Sets
Well,
card face down.
I say that, and then Brandon didn't. He waited a turn.
Sends Armageddon Knight to the graveyard, sending Archfiend to Eris to the graveyard.
Especially.
Archfiend, Infinity Archfiend comes to
And
hand.
Infernity Archfiend is searched from the hand. Clayton Hill already knows what's happening. He very kindly offers to banish the Stygian Street Patrol for Brandon. Brandon says, no, you've worked so hard in this tournament. You've got to let me do it myself.
I don't think he actually said that, but he's thinking it. I'd say you can see in his eyes, but from our angle, all we can see is the top of his head. I'm sure you have a better angle than we do.
Banish the Stygian Street Patrol. Archfiend is special summoned.
Yeah. It's combo time.
And Archfiend is added to the hand.
What'd you launch?
Pretty soon he's going to have enough level 4 dark monsters to form his own adventuring
Yeah,
party.
just going back in. No, just don't until the end of the turn.
Archfiend, or rather Armageddon Knight,
Thinking about it. Maybe?
thinking about Xyz summoning now. He's got Infernity Launcher face down. So what he really wants to do is get both of the Archfiends remaining into the graveyard.
So he's discarding that
And
Archfiend.
that's what he's doing here.
Oh, and that's a Stygian Street Patrol that he's got at the top of his deck there. That's going to the graveyard.
Are you writing down that?
One Archfiend in the graveyard, another Stygian Street Patrol in the graveyard.
You've still tried. Yep. Why did you?
And he's taking a look to see how he's going to proceed next.
And there's
Now
the
we
Xyz
get the
summon.
Xyz summon.
Maybe to Lavalal. And there it is.
Level Val Chain.
Must be nice.
How do you say Lavalval?
Level Val.
Lavalval.
Level Val. Level Val.
Lavalval.
When?
Tongue twister.
No, you added this.
Yeah, I did this.
He's looking to send Infernity Necromancer to the graveyard. He does have that launcher face down.
Or you.
And at this point, they've all played so much Infernity this weekend that nobody's quite sure of the exact order in which things were searched.
They're so incredibly confused. It's like it's just a blur of Infernity. All I can see is that orangey brown effect color.
Infernity Archfiend is sent to the graveyard.
I deleted it by accident.
Just tinges of Xyz.
Infernity Launcher slipped face up.
No.
He's playing his turn for him. He knows what's coming.
Once again, he makes the offer to play it for him. And Brandon still says no. Also, this goes up here as he moves his banished cards to their proper place.
You put your graveyard in a pile. Unsloppy your field a little.
Unsloppy your field.
He's looking to search for
Thank you.
the remaining Archfiend. He still has Stygian Street Patrol in his graveyard, so he can get it right out of his hand. But instead goes ahead and picks up Infernity Necromancer. He hasn't used his first Necromancer effect yet, but he does need to clear up some space if he's going to make these plays. Both Archfiends combine. and Diamond Direwolf hits the field. It's going to clear up a lot of space and get some Infernity Archfiends into the graveyard.
Interesting.
And he very smartly takes out the Palabyrinths to cut down on the number of combo plays that Clayton Hill would have access to should he survive this turn. Infernity Archfiend is summoned.
Looking in Clayton's hand, there isn't much options in there to be able to stop anything that's happening right now.
2 Necromancers summon 2 Archfiends back-to-back, with Infernity Barrier being set in between. And joining it is an Infernity Break. But that's not all he can do. The combos can, in fact, continue further, if he so desires. There is still 1 Infernity Archfiend in Brandon Bird's deck.
And he's just checking to see if he can win this turn.
That, I believe, is the calculation being made.
600.
And Clayton's helping.
Ever helpful.
Or he's just saying random numbers to put him off.
3,000. 365.
5, 10,
7 days in a week.
365 a year. Maybe.
And they give up on the calculator and continue on.
Yeah.
Both Necromancers combine for Levier the Sea Dragon.
That
Sea
is
Dragon
a-
brings back a Stygian Street Patrol, which can actually do some extra damage to the tune of 100 per star, per level star on the Infernity Archfiend. And we're off to battle. Street Patrol attacks Archfiend. And 4 1800 monsters attack directly.
Yeah.
That's 4,000 plus 24 is 60, or plus, no, not 24, plus 32 is 7,200 to go with the 600 from 200, or 200 plus 400 from Stygian Street Patrol's effect. So 600 for the first attack, and then 4 hits of 1,800 from 2 Archfiends, Lava Vow, Chain, and Levier. Clayton Hill should survive this with 200 life points.
Yeah, that's what I think. Clayton Hill seems to think that he's lost, though.
And he has, because Gaga Cowboy is a card, and it's in
Yep.
Brandon Bird's extra deck.
Well,
What is it?